10 former Premier League managers you forgot are still looking for new jobs. After just 3 games of the Premier League season, some fans are already calling for their manager to be shown where the door is. Arsenal's Mikel Arteta is a firm favourite to be the first manager sacked of the season after his side's poor performances opening few weeks of the new campaign. The Gunners were beaten 2-0 by Premier League newcomers Brentford on the opening weekend of the season before losing by the same scoreline to Chelsea just 9 days later. Arteta's side then were humiliated 5-0 by Manchester City in a performance that led to the Spaniards' managerial know-how be questioned. But the 39-year-old isn't the only manager being questioned. Crystal Palace's Patrick Vieira and Watford's Xisco Munoz are 2 others that some are being linked with being an early sacking. So, if any of the Premier League bosses do get given the boot, who is available that have experience in the English top flight? Daily Star Sport has taken a look. Antonio Conte delivered a Premier League title and an FA Cup during a 2-year spell at Chelsea, but despite his plethora of success previously, he is currently without a club. The Italian was just as successful at Inter Milan last season, winning the Serie A title and ending Juventus's run of 9 titles in a row, but left by mutual consent after lifting the trophy due to a transfer disagreement. No man is more experienced in surviving a relegation battle than Sam Allardyce. Until last season, the Englishman hadn't suffered relegation since 1997 despite managing teams in the bottom half of leagues. Allardyce stepped down at the end of last season after a disappointing campaign with West Brom. Which of these managers would you want taking over at your club? Comment below. Alan Pardew has spent the majority of his managerial career trying to get teams promoted or steering them clear of relegation. The Englishman recently managed ADO Den Haag in the Eredivisie before being appointed by CSKA Sofia as an advisor for their owners. In February, Paul Lambert left Ipswich by mutual consent after failing to guide them into the playoffs. The former Aston Villa and Norwich boss has spent several seasons managing relegation-battling sides in the top flight, although he hasn't managed in the league since 2018. Lambert may be more likely to secure his next job at a championship side, but if a struggling side wants to bring in an experienced boss then he may just be in luck. When Leicester City won the 2015-16 Premier League title under the helm of Claudio Ranieri, the Italian manager looked like he may have mastered the English top division. However, it wasn't meant to be for Ranieri, and he was sacked by the Foxes the following season with his title-winning side sitting just above the relegation zone. The former Roma defender has had short-stay managerial spells at Nantes, Fulham, Roma, and Sampdoria but is looking for his next project. Another member of the traditional Premier League managers brigade is Mark Hughes, who was last managing Southampton in 2018. The Welsh manager was at the helm of Stoke City between X and 2018 as he made them one of the trickiest sides to take on in the league, but the Potters soon outstayed their welcome in the top flight and were relegated in the 2017-18 season. Hughes is great at getting his squad to grind out results and, although sometimes unattractive, his football can really halt top clubs from playing freely. Now known for his punditry, Tim Sherwood has been without a club since 2015 but has enjoyed 2 moderate spells in the Premier League with Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa. With Spurs, Sherwood enjoyed a 50% win rate, but he could only lead the North London club to a 6th-placed finish and Daniel Levy showed him the door. Although he hasn't been in the management game for a while, Sherwood's ceiling as a manager may not have been reached yet, and he will have a lot to offer to any club. Since his successful spell at Tottenham, Andre Villas-Boas has worked in Russia, China, and France. The Portuguese manager fell out with his most recent club Marseille due to his dissatisfaction with the club's recruitment policy, where he openly admitted he did not even approve of certain signings. Since leaving the League One club, Villas-Boas has not been linked closely with many jobs but is likely to find a new destination soon. After a successful spell with Derby County, the jump up to managing Chelsea came too soon for Frank Lampard, and his lack of experience was duly found out. The club hero was reportedly persistent on certain signings, had poor relationships with some players, and scheduled too intense training close to matches. Lampard will have learned plenty from the dugout at Stamford Bridge and may be ready to dive back into the management world, albeit at a club where he will be given the opportunity to learn more whilst being out of the spotlight. Once one of the most exciting English talents in management, Eddie Howe is now waiting for a phone call to sign with a new club. The former Bournemouth player was at the helm of his boyhood club as he took them from League One to the Premier League. Howe left Bournemouth by mutual consent after the Cherries were relegated in 2020 He has not been with the club since despite being approached by Celtic.